Hello, my name is Stephen Combs. Together with Pastor Pharrell Malone behind me, Pastor Mac Knight behind me, and Pastor James Brooks and other friends, including we have here some of the Arbery family. We thank you guys for coming too. We're here as part of the Kenneth Adkins Freedom Project, and we're here to call for an investigation into his case by the Attorney General of the state of Georgia. I'm a lawyer in Florida. I'm not a lawyer in Georgia, and I'm not making any legal judgments under Georgia law here today. We're just pointing out deficiencies associated with Kenneth Adkins' prosecution. Today, speaking for the Kenneth Adkins Freedom Project will be Pastor Pharrell Malone. Pharrell Malone is a senior pastor at Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church. He is a 1985 graduate of Troy University, and he is CEO of Fresh Communities LLC. He is also the president of the Southeastern Georgia chapter of the Christian Leadership Conference. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Pastor Malone to come up here and speak on these important issues.
Thank you, Attorney Combs. As he said, my name is Pharrell Malone. I'm from the great metropolis of Waycross, Georgia, but I stand in solidarity with this team as for our friend and our colleague, Reverend Kenneth Adkins, Bishop Kenneth Adkins. One of the things I want to highlight is that prosecutorial misconduct branding of Ken Adkins, as this was done in this case, is divisive to true victims of this heinous crime. What we want to bring to light, and we've been working on this case for some time now. The points that I want to bring out is under the real case at this point that former District Attorney Jackie Johnson is under an indictment. We're asking for not only the Ahmaud Arbery's case to be looked at, but there are other cases that need to be looked at to show evidently, possibly, allegedly, a consistency of character. And character is who you be. I want to bring out a few points concerning the case concerning Bishop Kenneth Adkins. Jackie Johnson's entire conviction of Ken Adkins was based on the creation of a false timeline for the accused of will be found to have occurred before the alleged victims reached the age of consent. That is, the entire prosecution rested on the jury buying into the timeline that Jackie Johnson's office was selling. Number two, remember, this was a 2016 investigation, a 2017 trial about allegations from 2009 and 2010. Also, keep in mind that one of those victims, the young woman, consistently told Jackie Johnson and the court that Ken never committed the acts for which he was charged and convicted, but Jackie Johnson pressed forward with the prosecution. Jackie Johnson knew that the other supposed victim had a history of falsely accusing a military commander of similar abuses in the year or two prior to the 2016 investigation, but Jackie Johnson pressed forward with her prosecution. The same victim also had loaned Ken $5,000, which Ken had used to support the church, but which he could not pay back. But Jackie Johnson's office pressed forward with the prosecution. Because this victim's consistently told Jackie Johnson's office and testified that he was sure of all of the alleged criminal acts had occurred after Ken started the church on G Street called Greater Dimensions Christian Fellowship Church, and on Ken's birthday, that the timeline to convict Ken rested on proving that the church was started in 2009 so that the abuse could be found to have occurred on Ken's 50th birthday, which was actually January 22nd, 2010. If the church was started in late May of 2010, which the actual evidence supports, then no crime would have been committed. The obfuscation of the timeline started at the preliminary hearing when Jackie Johnson's office relied on false testimony of a GBI who testified that they had done an internet search on Ken that resulted in finding a May 2010 article about mentoring Ken had started. The GBI agent falsely stated that the article stated that Ken was then working at Greater Dimensions Church, which was his new church. That was a lie. The article stated that he was working at Jordan Grove Missionary Baptist Church, which is old church. Jackie Johnson's office clearly searched the articles mentioning Ken. They conveniently suppressed the fact that no news articles mentioned Ken at Greater Dimensions, the new church, until June 1st, 2010. And that all of the articles for the several years before that mentioned the pastor, him as pastor of Jordan Grove, which is the old church. The articles are referred to in your press kits. At the trial, Jackie Johnson's office jumped all over the typo of Ken's wife's LinkedIn page, in which it stated several years after 2010, in which she mistakenly stated that the new church was in May 2009. However, Jackie Johnson's office conveniently suppressed a half dozen Facebook posts from 2020, of which his wife, which clearly shows the Greater Dimensions Church, the new church, was started in May of 2010. These posts are outlined in the press kit. Also, in 2011, Ken was accused of misappropriating money at Jordan Grove, the old church. The investigation ensued, which resulted in a Brunswick Police Department file being created that Ken's May 22nd, 2010, his resignation letter from Jordan Grove was in that particular investigative piece. The computer files of the Brunswick Police Department still reference the letter, but the letter itself is missing. And the records custodian has stated that he thinks that the DA's office had gotten the physical file with the letter. Interestingly, the investigator tasked with gathering these types of documents in Ken's 2016 investigation leading to his conviction was none other than Greg McMichaels. So Jackie Johnson's office had clear access to the letter that would have blown her entire case out of the water. They never disclosed it. It disappeared, and it was suppressed. And they proceeded consistently with the prosecution. This also begs the question of whether Jackie Johnson felt pressure in 2020 to cover Mr. McMichaels because he was aware of this and the other alleged corruption in her office. Jackie Johnson had actually cross-examined Ken when he testified for Pastor Brooks. She asked him about his felony conviction and about being charged with theft at the old church of Jordan Grove. So Jackie Johnson had personal knowledge of when Ken had resigned from the old church, Jordan Grove, and started the new church, Greater Dimensions. We're not sure if Jackie Johnson's office was aware of the May 2010 email announcing the new church, Greater Dimensions, first service, or the newspaper ad that the same piece was announced in. Based on everything else that she suppressed, it wouldn't be surprising to find this out. So why are we here today? We are demanding, we're asking, we're requesting, and this piece demands an investigation whether Jackie Johnson's conduct in Ken's conviction is another instance of her violating her oath of office. We want the Attorney General of the state to look at that. Further, it also calls for D.A. Higgins, and we've met with him months ago. We've already met with D.A. Higgins. We've already given him the information. He has graciously worked with us. But we call for the D.A. Higgins to immediately agree with Ken's motion for a new trial and then dismiss the charges against him. That is where we are today, and that is what we're requesting in light of what has come case with evidence from the Ahmaud Arbery case. We are pushing to make sure that these people who are in public office are held accountable. We thank God for Mr. Marcus Arbery and Thea Brooks and Rico Collins and Kevin Smith and Carla Arbery. We thank God for them and them continuing to press forward to make sure that justice is served. I want to thank you for this time. I'm going to turn back over to Brother Holmes.
It is a sad moment that the death of Ahmaud Arbery had to uncover the type of misconduct that seems to be occurring, seems to occur under Jackie Johnson's leadership consistently at the local DA's office. And I want to just recognize the Arbery family and just kind of convey our condolences once again and tell them that if nothing else, something has come of that, and that is that hopefully injustices can be righted that have occurred in this district, starting with Ken Adkins. And so we know that the local District Attorney Higgins has tasked members of his office with reviewing the Adkins file, and again we just call on them to take the facts that they've been given and to move forward and right the injustice that has been done wrong in the Ken Adkins case. Thank you.
Are you taking questions?
We can take questions.
Okay. I'm Brittany with Channel 4 News. With yesterday, Jackie Johnson turning herself in, one day later, you're calling for the formal investigation into Ken Adkins' case. Do you think more cases will be looked into, as Jackie Johnson was the top prosecutor in this area for 10 years?
Good evening. My name is Travis Riddle, and with what you just said, we're hoping a lot of cases get looked into. Yes. Unfortunately, with Ahmaud, he lost his life, but we have a lot of brothers and sisters that's in prison that have been falsely accused that could be living life with their family now. So with this proving that she's corrupt in a corrupt system, in a corrupt area, I really feel like with the Ahmaud situation, there was a level of comfort. They got so comfortable doing what they're doing, they got sloppy. So I think the city is fed up with it, the community is fed up with it, and I don't think the indictment need to stop with just Jackie Johnson. There's more people that we need to get. So let them all know that they own the clock, because the community not standing for it.
Thank you for answering that. Now, has a motion been filed for the new trial, or what's the latest with that?
Okay. Again, I'm not Ken's lawyer. I'm not a Georgia lawyer. He does have a Georgia lawyer out of Savannah, Mr. Purse. He has filed a motion for new trial. And we think that the facts that have been developed by the Kenneth Adkins Freedom Project are relevant to that case, and we just call on Mr. Purse to aggressively pursue that motion.
I do want us to understand this, that the proceedings of the motion has taken place months ago. This is before this indictment came up. We wanted to make sure we highlighted it at this time because it's showing a sincere pattern that has taken place.
As the spokesperson for this project, have you been in touch with Jackie Johnson's attorney, John Ossock?
No, I have no desire to. We will work through the Attorney General of the state of Georgia and the local district attorney and let them handle that. Yeah. But there needs to be more than Ken and Ahmaud's case looked at. As he said, there is when you deal with character is who you be. Character is who you are when nobody else is looking. So there are two very clear cases that have shown a character flaw. And in that, there evidently is a consistency. And so we want the Attorney General to look at that. We want a grand jury to look at that, because there's some brothers and sisters in jail right now who should be free. We've met with him about 3 months ago?
You've met with him a couple times,
Yes.
4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months ago. And then
Before Easter, after Easter.
Right around that. So we met with him a few times. He's looking at it. He has a task force tasked to look at it more clearly. In light of what has taken place, we're asking that be expeditiously looked at, amen, I'm getting these words right, that it expeditiously be looked at, and that the motion, we're asking Mr. Higgins to grant the motion that has been placed so that there may be a new trial.
Have you reached out since yesterday or heard anything from him?
No, no, that was yesterday, no.
Last time we talked to Kenneth, he said that he was convicted for not what he did, but for who he is. And I just want to get your take on that.
Well, Ken is controversial because he's going to speak what's right. His ministry's focus is real, raw, relative, and redemptive. And what is real right now is that there is an injustice that has been consistent in this district, and probably other districts are right. So that's real. The raw thing is that you bring out the truth, that you don't camouflage it, that you deal with it as it is. Then the relativity deals with the fact that, is it relative? Are we seeing something that we need to look at? Are we seeing something that needs to be changed? Is it relevant to the situation? Are her actions and consistency and character, or the character flaw, consistent with Ken and Ahmad and others? And then redemptive, the redemption is that she had to turn herself in yesterday. The greater redemption is that she's going to go to trial. The greater redemption is that she's going to go to jail and see and meet some of them folk who she sent there. Real, raw, relative, and redemptive. All right. Thank you all for coming. May God bless you. Oh. Amen. Come on.
Like my man back there say,
Yeah.
it's more than Jackie Johnson involved in that.
Yeah.
It's plenty. You got the sheriff over here, get him. He involved too. Because when you're in that power like that, then you could have did something. So don't you sit back and hide behind no bags, bro. You doomed too. You with Jackie Johnson too. I ain't scared to tell you. I'm a mark daddy. I'm not scared of you. So you doomed too. He need to go. He could have done something. He done with it. We don't need you for our sheriff. It got to be cleaned up.
Amen.
Time out.
Amen.
Let's clean all this mess up. Because you get sweared in on the open, you don't do your job. You getting our money, we don't need you. Let's get it.
Yes.
Go. I'm a mark daddy. You got to go.
Amen.
Because you could have did something, you the sheriff. You had the power to go in there and say, let's arrest these people. You didn't. You were down with that corruption. You and that detective Lowry, y'all all in that together. Y'all got to go. We don't need y'all. We don't want y'all. So you get mad, I'm telling you in your face. Dead in your face. Because I ain't scared of you. You scared all these people up all these years, but I ain't. I ain't, bro. I'm going to tell you that now.
Amen.
I get in good trouble. So when you come around to me, I'm going to get in trouble. Good trouble. I'm a mark daddy.
Yeah.
Right. Wrong kid.
Right.
I'm
Wrong
coming
kid.
for you. Go.
Amen.
See.
Let me clearly say that new District Attorney Higgins has been working with us and others in undoing the injustices that took place prior to him. So we want to lift him up and encourage him to continue to do that which is right. We're also working to make sure that the other District Attorney, Barnhill out of Waycross, is unseated as well. Injustice is injustice, and we got to deal with it. We want to make sure that we recognize this, that the timeline that Jackie Johnson's office put together was a lie. As a result, it very clearly shows that Kenneth is innocent, and we need to make sure her character is looked at very closely. She with McMichaels in this case as well. God bless you. God keep you is our prayer. Amen.
First of all, I want to thank God for showing me and my family the right thing to do, that we didn't take this justice into our own hand.
Y'all did it.
I thank God first. And what they did, they don't know what they did to this family. Their errors caused us a lifetime of pain.
Oh, yeah.
We got to deal with this the rest of our lives. And I'm dealing with diabetes and dealing with this to see my brother and sister, what we struggling to go through every day. That people can be so nasty in Brunswick and gun a child down in the broad daylight, and you got to wait 70-something days for arrest to be made.
And you on our law.
Where do that happen at? That shouldn't have never happened in Glenn County. Quez should be able to run wherever he want to run at. Barnhill, Jackie Johnson, I want to see them two handcuffed, but they still covering up. She walked out, she didn't pay no bond. She walked out on her own. But if that was one of us, we probably would have had to put our house up, our brother and sister houses, no bond. She walked out looking like the devil already riding her, and he ain't through with her yet. Thank y'all.
I'm Ahmad Auntie Ruby, and she also stated on Facebook yesterday, I saw it on the news, where she said she walked out with all her jewelry still on. I have been locked up before in my life for fighting, and they excruciated me when I walked through them doors. Stripped me down from my head to my toe. And for her to get on there and say she walked out with all her jewelry on, that's still favoritism. That's still there. They think it's a joke. But if it one of they turn that somebody, one of us black murdered, it would have been a whole different story standing up here today. It wouldn't have been this way today. And I don't appreciate it, and I get tired of I had to block my Facebook page because I was tired of seeing it. Then I seen the video where Greg McMichael spoke and say, call Jackie, and told her, say, Jackie, we just shot somebody, we need your assistance.
Corrupt.
Come on. Wow. So nobody doing nothing about it, and y'all let her walk scot-free. Right. That ain't the life it's supposed to live here. She ain't supposed to get off that easy, and y'all got all the evidence right there in your face. And nobody doing nothing about it. Y'all destroying this family. This family already destroyed. Y'all done took our nephew away from us, killed him in broad daylight. All y'all police officers stood there talking about, let's get this blood off our hands. We heard this.
Give Michael some water.
Come on. Well, my nephew laying on the ground dead. Come on. Y'all got to get something done. This got to be done. Something got to be done. And we upset. We angry. Yes, we all that. We upset. We angry. Because they keep letting these people out that done killed our family members.
And if you don't get rid of them, they're going to do it.
They're going to keep doing it until they do it to one of y'all turn. Put yourself in my brother and my sister them situations. What if it was one of y'all turn? How would y'all feel? Y'all child laying on that ground dead, bleeding for his life, and ain't no telling what he said in his last breath. We think about all that. All that run through our heart and our mind. And y'all letting these people keep walking scot-free. Come on, man. This shit don't make sense. Somebody got to do something about this, and it's stopping today because we're not giving up. And I promise y'all, every time that door open, we going to be here. It's no giving up in this family. We the Aubreys. And we will raise the fight. So I thank God that y'all caught them before we did. And I can promise you that on everything we love. And I meant that from the bottom of my heart.
Hey guys, real quick. Hey, I just want to say this here, man. As I sit here and listen to the Aubrey family and hurt they feeling, for the citizens of Brunswick, I ask y'all, don't wait till this your immediate family to go through what they're going through. If you know something, say something. Come forward and fight for it. Let Brunswick be the focus point of what started this. Waycross, Georgia, I challenge y'all to challenge Barnhill getting up out that seat. Yes. He condoned it. If it were one of us, they would have rounded up our whole crew. Let's round up their whole crew no matter who they are. I'm learning more and more about this case every day. The message to Ware County, Glenn County, and any county that's happened to, do not be afraid. They're a powerful number. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Y'all stand up.
That's right. Let us again thank everyone for coming, and we thank you all for coming to share. Let us be reminded that she's been indicted on Ahmaud Arbery. We need her indicted on Ken Adkins.
Yes.
And better yet, we need for, as District Attorney Higgins is already looking at a task force, that we go to the fact and deal with the fact that this case needs to be looked at, and that he will look at the motion and approve the motion for a new trial. Thank you all so very much. God bless you.